Go. We're live.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. It's Val and Roy coming to you live and from the Delphi Creativity Center, Lansing, Michigan. Today we're going to talk about drilling holes in glass. So this is another one of those Facebook Lives that we get interest. We get a lot of interest from students or from customers coming in or online. And I know a little while ago we did talk about doing flowers, and we didn't have time to really show how to drill holes, so we thought we would do that today.
Yep.
But you might notice that we look a little different, or our camera angle looks a little
We
different.
had some suggestions from some of our people that have been
viewers,
our viewers and people who've been taking classes and say they watch, so we get the feedback because they actually are coming to the store. And so we're trying a different orientation. So let us know how you like it.
Yeah,
right?
let us know how you like it, right?
Because Dave really wanted it. David and Scott both decided that they suggested it to us. So and I didn't get it, and Kaylee says, well, no, if that's what people want, we'll try it this way. So so we'll give this one a shot, and if we get enough people saying no, then we'll probably go back. But we're going to see what it does.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see what it does. I mean, I get it. Like if you're watching this not live and you want to watch it on your computer or laptop, or your iPad or something, this orientation probably is a little bit better. But well, we'll see. Give us feedback. We love to hear that. You can always send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email us at facebook@delphiglass.com.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
I'd hardly even
And now
read
it's
that.
right behind her head, so now it's not as noticeable.
They were supposed to just know that I know it.
I know.
So we had a variety of glass pieces you'll see on the table, and then we're going to show you some different ways of drilling holes with different machinery, I guess is probably a great way of putting it,
And I think
right?
one of the things that made us decide, we had some feedback about questions about drilling holes, and that for some reason, I guess I get it, but people seem to think it's really, really, a scary thing to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe a little bit, but truly it isn't very hard to do. You just have to know a few things to be successful. So we're going to drill some holes in some very little things with the bits, and then we're also going to drill the bigger thing that's going to simulate more like what we do when we make sinks. Take this isn't quite as thick as what some of the sinks are that we made, but the process is the same.
Yeah, the process is very similar. So, and we did on this, when we get to this one on the sink, we pre-drilled a little bit, just mainly because of time, right? I mean, I don't know how exciting it sounds, watching, Val and I drill glass for a long time. But since it's such a big,
riveting.
It's got to be a lot of fun. And so we did a little bit of drilling on that one, but some of the other ones we're gonna just do them.
So should we talk about the drill press and the Dremel press?
Let's talk about the bits first.
Okay,
right?
let's do that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the bits.
Let's talk about bits because
first.
that's the question we get asked a lot about is, like what kind of bit are you using? And so the bits we are using are diamond coated. We sell, a variety of them here. If you can see this particular one I have in my hand, I think it's a 1-inch, if I'm not mistaken, or a 25 millimeter. You'll notice that a lot of these are what's called a core drill bit, meaning that there's an opening in the middle, right? So, because when you're drilling, like I said, this is about a 1-inch, and if I'm drilling through the glass, I have to drill through 1 inch of glass, but surface area. But here, since we're just drilling a ring out of it, it actually goes faster. It also helps keep the bit cooler. And which is probably the key to drilling in glass is trying to keep the glass and the bits really nice and cool so you don't crack them, right? So.
Right.
But the bits come even as small as Val just opened up this little package of. Her and I were just both saying, "Wow, why would you
tiny those
want to do one so tiny?" But
yeah, I don't think I would.
But it just depends. I mean, if you're doing jewelry pieces, you might want a nice little delicate hole in there. Right? If you're doing a sink, you want a nice big hole. So. Well, we're going to drill, like I said, a variety of these glass projects you see on the table, and in different size bits, in different manners. So again, the key is diamond coated bit. So if I didn't say that clear enough, right? So you'll see on this one on the end, you'll see that just about a little more than 1/8 of an inch on the end is diamond coated. Again, it's a core drill bit. So it has these slots on the side because what will happen is the glass a plug will get caught in there, and then you can come in this way and just poke it out. That's the purpose for those. Now, the my understanding is if we're 1/8 of an inch or bigger, it should definitely be a core drill bit. But smaller than that, a lot of times they don't make them core drill bit. We were trying to decide on these really tiny ones if they were or not.
See these? I can't tell, but can you tell? But see, they have the little
they got a mark like they
the
are,
mark on
but,
the side,
yeah,
but I don't
they're
think they
solid.
are.
I think you're
they're
right.
solid. I'm going to take one out.
Yeah, we think that those are solid. I have
Yep,
an
it's
1/8 inch
solid.
one in here that I forgot to look at, to be honest.
It is a core.
Oh, yep, this one's a core. So sometimes the 1/8 inch ones aren't. Like I said, sometimes you'll see them that are solid. And again, 1/8 inch is about it. If you're going any bigger, you should really invest in a core drill bit. And I know that there are other bits out there that people market that they say drills glass, but
The solid
yeah,
ones.
or those ones you saw, those ones that look like an arrowhead that was
Yeah.
like carbide steel, and this will cut through glass. But from our personal experience, I mean, the diamond coating is the way to go if you're drilling glass, and so because of that, we have to use water. So that's really important that we use water for a few things, mainly as a coolant, probably more than anything else, but also kind of as a lubricant. It kind of helps wash away some of the glass powder as we're grinding, and you'll see that definitely with the sink. You'll see all that happening. Then what do you want?
Well, what do you want to do first? Let's do.
Do you want to talk about the different things, or just jump in and just start
different things,
drilling?
meaning different
the
drills?
different tools, that we.
Well, we use a drill.
Well, we are.
We use this drill
Nice.
and we use this drill. Those are the tools we're using.
Yeah,
And then the
and
drill
this drill.
press, the drill press, which is really nice, and we're going to demonstrate that too, right? Because
Yes.
part of the problem with drilling a hole in glass is how slippery it is when the bit hits it, and so it's not unusual to skid. Once you put it down and turn on the drill, the rotation can sometimes cause your drill to skip. And so the drill press is really nice, but the reality of the drill press is that not everything fits in it. Like this is not going to fit in it. So depending on how big a drill press you have access to is going to limit to what you can use it for. So
Yeah, the throw depth is not.
but truly, this one we use here a lot because it does keep things, in one place, and you don't have to hold everything. You just hold the glass, the drill bit comes down, and it doesn't really skid around. But we'll show you how to do the other
Yep, we'll
method
show all of
too,
them. Now, if you have questions about the drill press, it is just a drill press. So, I mean, that's the other thing that's kind of the maybe slightly negative thing. It's not designed to get wet, right? It's really not something where we hook water up to it.
or specifically for glass. Or
Yeah,
anything
or
like
any of that. It really is just a wood press or metal that we bought at a place, so it was not all that super expensive, but not something Delphi sells, unfortunately. But so you can see, like, if I pull this off real quick, I mean, a lot of this part looks kind of rusty just because where the water's at. But again, we've had this one for years, right? I'm not even sure how many years we've had this particular drill press, so holds up really, really, really quite well. So what we normally do is we drill in like a plastic container, right? We need to drill into something that's going to contain the water. The other thing that we do is, you'll see I have a piece of styrofoam here. So the styrofoam does a couple of things. One is, one thing, it just takes up space, so I don't need as much water. Probably the other thing, which I find probably more importantly, is that I'm not drilling into the bottom of the plastic container, right? You don't want to drill into that and create a hole and then lose all your water. The reason why we use a styrofoam is it acts as kind of a shock absorber a little bit, right? Because there'll be some vibration with all this, and the styrofoam, I think, helps with the vibration on that. The other thing you'll notice here is I have a piece of scrap glass that I put down. So depending on what I'm drilling, like if I'm drilling something flat, I always have an extra piece of glass that I drill into. One reason why is because when we're drilling, the bit, when it comes through the back of the glass, sometimes it does what we call a blowout, where it's going to kind of chip the back of the glass out, which, most of the time might not matter. Right, this one's black, so if I chip this out in the back, you're not going to see it. But if you're doing something that's transparent, you might see that little blowout. So by drilling into another piece of glass, the bit doesn't really know that it made it through the first one, and so it just starts drilling in the second bit, and so you don't really get that kind of blowout that you normally might get. So, but again, only on flat things would I use that. We're going to do some curved things here, and I don't use them on the curved things because there's not enough contact, right? Does that make sense? want me to just go ahead and...
Yeah, just go
Do
ahead
this
and drill that one. That's just a little ornament that
Yeah.
we have. You got to put your glasses on.
Oh, good job, Kaylee. Kaylee's like the safety police here today,
I
so
know.
that's good. So she's always keeps me safe. Thank you, Kaylee, for reminding me. Safety glasses, right? Obviously, we want to be careful with that. This is going to be a little awkward only because I'm kind of doing it backwards. Normally, I'm standing in front of the drill press when I do this, so we're going to put it in here. The water, this part always kind of makes people slightly nervous when we're dealing with electricity and water, but the water has to go over the height of the glass, right? So I had to add more water, so the water is...
You're basically drilling
Yeah.
through water.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
drill
don't-
right into it,
That's the other
so-
thing I think. A lot of people feel like that as long as they have water on the surface, but we actually
Yeah.
drill
No.
through water.
Yep.
So we
Yeah,
want
good
our
point.
piece submerged.
So now I'm just going to try to figure out where I want to drill this thing. Again, I'm
Can you do it? You want me to hold it, or can you do
I
it?
got it. I think I got
Okay.
it. And then, so I'm just seeing where it's going to go, right, where I'm going to drill. Now, the only thing that we have to sort of be careful of when you're drilling into the glass is I don't want to be too close to the top. You know, if I get too close up here, let me do this real quick. So if I get too close up here with the bit, let me just show you, right? So if I'm trying to drill here, for example, it's just too close and the glass is going to be a little weak and you run the risk of that breaking. So when you do drill, again, depending on the size of the hole, you want to come into the piece a little bit more. So I'm just going to figure out where I want to go. That looks all right, doesn't it?
Yep.
Alrighty. Then I'm going to turn it on. Sorry about the noise.
A little loud.
Yeah. This one isn't bad.
Not too bad.
No. Did I just move that too?
Nice. So you kind of back off from
I-
You kind of back off,
Yep.
and that allows water to get in what you've already grooved. I mean, that's what we do. We kind of do a little bit, then we'll back it off a little bit, let water flow in, and back and forth like that. Don't you think that helps a little bit?
I think it helps a bunch,
Yeah.
right? Instead of
Keeping
trying
it-
to drill right through it, it helps to kind of drill a little, back off like Val was saying. And
You can see the glass dust in the water. So you know you're getting there.
so one thing is, there was a slightly different sound when I got through the first piece of glass and hit the second piece, and so, but I can feel it actually as the bit goes through the first piece of glass, and so that's how I know when to stop. But yeah, as Val was pointing out, you don't want to it's not drilling through wood, which people think it should be just as easy as that. We're grinding through the glass, so that takes a little bit of time. And so as Val was mentioning, I went down a little bit, let it drill, and then I backed off the drill and let some water get back in there, help it cool down a little bit, wash away some of that glass powder, then come back in. So it's kind of like I hate to say plunging technique, but it's sort of like that, where you go in a little bit, then back off, go back in a little bit. You'll get a feel for the pace, just depending. This happens to be a brand new bit that we put on here, so it was super fast, right? And so I could go a little quicker because
show
of
the
that.
hole
But
you're making.
yeah,
You're
Look,
just like-
I'm trying to build it up. I thought.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
God, I want to see it. I want to see
There it
it.
is. Voila. Wait a
Isn't
minute.
that, see, that's perfect.
See, nice.
It's just
That's
perfect.
Pretty nice.
And the back
Yeah, let
is
me point out
perfect.
real quick too. I don't know how well this shows up. Do you have it? I was going to dry it off real quick, but if you can see the back of it again, so if you can see what the front looks like, right? So that's the front with the hole, and then the back looks like this. And again, just almost as clean as the front does. And the key again with that is drilling into another piece of glass. So.
Nice.
Right, so I didn't do
Okay.
too bad of a job. So now what? When do you want to show?
Well, let's show the other ones because we do sell this other
Dremel?
little
Yeah, let's show the
Dremel
Dremel.
press,
Yeah,
drill
that's just a
press
great idea.
Dremel, which is actually made by Dremel. So a Dremel, if you have the Dremel, but then we also sell this one, this rotary tool, and it fits in there too. So
Yeah, this is a rotary tool that we sell at Delphi. Pretty good price, if I'm not mistaken, especially compared to some more brand name type of tools, right? But this one works great. And so what I put in here is that one of the really small ones. This I think is a 2mm bit, which is really, really tiny. So one of the issues that you can have with these is trying to get it to fit in here because the shaft of the drill is so narrow. So if you can look again, Kaylee can show up. This is tape on here, and this is really just masking tape. So I just take masking tape and go around the shaft of the drill bit here just to increase the diameter. Then it fits into the bit, you know.
Because these only
they're
narrow
designed
down
for
so far.
like
They're,
an eighth of an inch is what they're
so
really designed for.
You can't get the bit, those tiny bits, so just build up the mass around it, their thickness.
So the nice thing about this tool is you can do it by hand, right? I mean, it's light enough and small enough that I could just drill by hand. But we also sell this thing, which I think is really nice too. So if you don't have one of these big fancy, drill presses, this thing works really, really quite well. And the way this works is you just put it in there. There is a something down here that screws that in. I didn't do this right, sorry. It really helps if you take off this cap, so it comes with this cap, right? That comes off. And it's threaded here.
Yeah, and then that's threaded here. Oh,
and then
gotcha.
that's threaded here. And then we can just tighten it up. I don't think I can do it by hand probably well enough.
This is what this is
Yeah,
for?
that's what that's for. So I remembered it.
Good job. Are you tight enough?
I am. Yeah, let me just tighten it up again real quick. I'll just give it another little turn just so it's a little tighter in there. It doesn't move as much, obviously, when it's tight in there. Again, so then this one, the setup here is the same sort of deal, right? So you have this arm on here, and you can just use it like a drill press. And as we've mentioned a couple times, the advantage is you don't have to stabilize a drill in your hand and then try to hold onto the glass and try to stabilize both things. You just have to worry about stabilizing the glass and letting the tool, stay in position. So, we're drill. I'm just going to use the same pan.
I was going to say, we got to get something under there.
Get something under there.
This just happens to be one of our stepping stone holds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use
good
these,
point,
right? And we have a bigger one,
Yeah,
too.
we got a bigger one we're going to show you later. So, yeah, we use these. They're great
They're
that
handy.
we have around here, right? They come in handy. I don't think I got this set up right, but. I see what's the problem. I'm going to run into.
Do what?
Oh, I'm running into the. This was hitting the lip
Well,
of the thing.
just take it over now.
That's fine. I got it. Is it going to be deep enough? No.
No.
So we can.
Want another
This
piece
as
of
far down
glass?
as it goes.
Grab
Yeah.
the Toyo box.
Oh yeah, just slide. You can just slide the box in there.
This?
Yeah, sometimes we have to get a little creative to get the
Not too
height or
big.
depth that you want. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Yeah, that's now it's
Okay.
too big, right? No, it's not. So what
What
was
are
I
we
gonna drill
drilling?
here? Oh, I was gonna drill one of these little micro things.
These?
I said, yeah, one of these little things. Right. So this was something I had done in a Zoom class a little while ago. Quickly made these cabochons for jewelry, and then so now I'm just gonna drill a hole in one of them. So just so you guys can see how quick this sort of goes. I think I got enough water in there. Maybe not. Let me just add it. These are a little thicker. That's all right. And then,
Oops.
so again, we have to, of course, with the styrofoam tube, the thing wants to float, so I have to just be careful that I can't really see very well. I got these really nice safety glasses on. So, I'll turn this on. Is that a switch there?
New bit. It's nice, huh?
Yeah, it's fast.
It is fast.
So I know for me, I'm always impatient, so I didn't, well, that's all right. I could have come out a little further to the edge, but I don't know if you can see it. It's so tiny. Do you see the hole? Is it showing up? So,
Oh, yeah.
Yep, little tiny one, right? So you could put a cord through there, or put a piece of wire or something, and
Is that what we did with the leaves?
yeah, if you can see how the leaves were done. These were done with a little bit bigger bit than that, but then this is just fishing line that we use. So as we're making this nice wind chime, right? So we drilled, obviously into all of those, which was pretty quick. So again, the setup really makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, really good.
Whatever.
The press things do. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, so now what we'll do, you want to do this 3D flower?
Oh yeah, let's do the flower, right?
Because this is a situation where, we do this and then put a bolt in to make a stem. So you need that hole in there to do the
I think we talked about it on a so
For the
right.
flowers.
So we have another
on
another Facebook Live. So it's probably on our video page on Facebook, or it's on our YouTube channel where we talked about doing flowers. And then Val made this lovely flower just yesterday. So what's nice is it's a one schedule,
layer.
right? One schedule firing, and so
one layer. It
we
just
fused
goes
and
quick.
slumped at the same time. And then so, like as she was mentioning, so we could attach this to a piece of copper, and so we're gonna drill.
We're going to drill the hole down in here.
Yeah,
So
let me
this
just
is
move
going
that
to
out of the
be,
way.
yeah.
We're
there's-
gonna use this. I don't need that piece of glass because I don't like it. And then
Fill this.
yeah, and then so what's really nice about these kind of shapes, right, is I can just fill them, right, and then I'm going to drill right into that. So here I'm going to do this with a hand drill. So this is a little different. So now we're going to use something that it's not as stable as the ones that these press type things. So as Val was mentioning, when you come in, it feels real slippery, right? You have this spinning bit.
It definitely will
that,
skip around.
on this smooth, slick surface of the glass, and the bit will just move on you. So the recommendation is that you don't come straight flat into it like this, but you come at a slight angle. So you just want to catch the edge of the bit, if that makes sense, on there. The other thing that really helps is to have a drill that is a variable speed, so you can control how fast it goes. I mean, to me, that's one of the the things with the Dremel in particular is that it's like, I mean, I know you can adjust the speed, but you can't go real slow. I mean, this one we can go, super slow. And with that, it just gives me more control. The bit's less likely to start moving around if I can control it. So I'm going to come in here on the bottom. I don't know how well.
Do you want me to hold or no?
I was going to slide a little closer if that helps Kaylee. No, I think I got it.
Okay.
So I'm going to come in, and I'm at a slight angle, even though it might not look like I am, but because of that curvature. And I'm going to go slow with the...
So you're basically just trying to get a groove
Yeah,
so
you
your
can-
bit can stay in
hitting
there.
that, one of those...
Fritz?
Yeah, no, the Vitrograph. You have a
Vitrograph.
little piece of Vitrograph. That's right, this will work. Right, and then as I'm coming in kind of an angle, just to get the edge of the bit to start catching, and then once I feel it catching, I can increase the speed.
And then you're going to come more vertical too.
Yep. I didn't quite
You
get
slipped
it.
out.
Sorry, I slipped right on. I need to catch it a little bit better.
So there you go, up vertical. Now you've got the groove, so it's easier to hold now, right?
Yep. Yeah, once you get a groove in there, it's really easy to hold. Now this is a 1/4 inch bit. Super
Right.
exciting.
Oh.
Sometimes I will, pull it out, dump the water out, and get some fresh water. But it also tells me where I'm at as far as the drilling goes. I don't know if you probably can't see it. Yeah, not yet. It's starting to get there. I haven't cut through the color on this one side. I don't know if you can see. On one side, I've kind of cut through the color, but I haven't. The base is clear on this one, so the color is just on top. So I probably have to go through a little bit more. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. I don't know how old the bit is I'm using.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is that we should
Yeah,
have put
yeah.
it in
Sometimes people ask us like, how many holes can you drill out of a bit? And I'll tell you, man. There's not a set answer. It really just depends on how you take care of your bit, right? I mean, if you're just trying to just plow right through and not giving it a chance to cool down, not using a lot of water, you're going to wear the bit out pretty quickly. But you should be able to get multiple holes, that's for sure.
It is exciting.
Yeah, maybe there's something going on with this bit, but it's
Are
a
you not
little
getting
slow. I'm not getting much. So the other thing too is, to be honest, so this particular drill bit that I'm using is really what's called an electric screwdriver. So I think that this one I picked up at one of the big box home improvement stores, and it is really designed more for putting in screws or taking out screws, right? That kind of a thing. So it's not labeled a drill. It usually works pretty well. For some reason today, or it seems like it's just a little slower than what I was expecting it to be. So
Do you want to try to change the bit, or are you just going to just do it?
I'm just going to
Push a little harder and just keep going.
You can see it there.
Yeah, I can see the cloud from the ground glass. So it's doing something, like you said. It's just not, and that bit's probably pretty old.
Well, I'm wondering. Oh yeah, I know where I grabbed this bit from. This is one I use in class all the time. So
it's had some mileage.
yeah, it probably has drilled a few flowers.
But it's going to work. It's just, it just takes a little longer depending on. Did you get anything?
Yeah, maybe we'll.
Do you want to switch?
Yeah, let's. We have another one, we can switch over.
I can take one out of here.
We can. Yeah, why don't? And then it'll be fast, so we can just see it. I wonder. This one might just be a little too worn. I'm starting to look at it, and
This is kind of how we sell some too in this pack, which is kind of nice. It gives you all different sizes in one pack.
Yeah, that's
I
the
like
great thing
this.
about the pack.
Yeah, I like this.
This one, so what happens here is obviously that ring is where the diamond coating wears off first. So even if you see diamond coating out here, which I'm seeing, the very part that comes in contact with the glass, that's going to wear off first. And as I look at it, it looks a little too smooth to me, to be honest.
Show the difference, but yeah.
Yeah, can you see the difference
You can
between these two
definitely
bits? Yep, and it really is just, again, that one, I don't know how many I've drilled out of there, but it's a lot, so.
And you can't see this very well, but I mean, it still is doing it. It's
Yeah, it was
just
doing it, but-
slow, but.
Oh, yeah, you can see it.
Okay.
But we're trying not to make this into like a 2-hour
Right.
presentation on how to drill.
I have court time too.
So we got to get out of here,
I
people.
know.
Val's got stuff to do, so let's hurry. I mean, the nice thing is I already have something started as far as the drill bit, so this should go a little bit easier. So, this is a brand new bit, so. I just want to see if I
Getting
can-
pretty cloudy.
Yeah. Can you? now you can see it, right?
Yeah.
So when you see from the bottom, that's how you can tell how far you're made it, right? I'm more than halfway through, so I'm pretty close. So let me just, I'll tell you, for me, my problem is I'm impatient. So when I'm close, I'm always like, oh, I'm going to really push on it. But that's actually when you have to slow down a little bit, right?
That's how I
So-
broke in glass.
Yeah, right. So you should, as you get closer to being done, you got to go a hair slower. So. There it goes. Sorry.
Okay,
Perfect.
we did it.
Right, and then all the water drains out. So isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's nice.
So
Yeah, and the back
right,
is great.
the back actually looks pretty good, right? You can see it chipped a tiny, tiny bit, but again, who cares? I mean, this is, if you're going to put this on a copper stem or something as a flower, you're not going to really see the back of it. But that was a nice little hole, right? That wasn't too bad.
I like it.
I got a little. You can see I got a little aggressive at the end and just kind of poked through the styrofoam, but you know, it's styrofoam.
And then you know it's done.
Yeah.
You got a good look at that.
Oh yeah. I love
Okay,
Nice.
pretty
that.
clean.
Now.
Pretty clean. Okay,
And
now.
then what else you want to do? Which
Well,
other one?
I think that I don't care. I mean, we could always drill hard or whatever, but it's kind of the same thing we've been doing.
Yeah, we've been
drill the
doing.
sink.
So let's
Yeah,
let's
so
do
the
the big
sink is
sink.
the one I
So
think that
let's
freaks
just
people
push
out.
that one out of the way.
And depending on how much time you spent actually designing and fusing it, I get it because we've done some sinks, and I actually,
Oh, yeah.
because if you're not careful, you can like just skip across and scratch, and so basically the sinks, if you're making them for to really use, you don't want a bunch of scratches on them. So we've done a couple of things, and same thing. We're going to fill this with water, and then Roy's also taped it.
Yeah, we learned this
So-
lesson, right? So as Val was mentioning, I think the first one we ever did had a big scratch all the way up along it because, again, you got a spinning bit and this slick, smooth surface, and we have to stabilize the drill with our hand, and can only do it so much. So we came up with this sort of idea where we figure out where we're going to drill the hole, and then this is just duct tape that goes around the outside. So if I do slide a little bit, the duct tape actually will help hold the bit in place, believe it or not. Or if you do slide a little bit, you're going to hit this and not go up onto the glass and scratch the glass.
Yeah,
So-
hopefully you can get control before you get
yeah,
all the
before
way
you
up
get
here.
all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then so we're just going to pour it in
And
there.
we did pre-drill this just a little bit, just so that it wouldn't take so long, which now I'm glad we did because the flower
Yeah,
took
yeah.
a while. But you still, I think, could demonstrate.
Yeah,
at
let
that
me show you.
angle,
Yep,
'cause
so,
we do
yeah.
have a groove, but
This one's easier to probably
It's
see
easier
what's
to
doing, but
see.
when I first started, I started with an angle about like this. It was probably about this aggressive, right? And then just going slow until the bit would start to bite in, and then once it bites in and you can feel it's not going to move, then you can start tipping it up a little bit more. And I kept doing that until eventually
In
we're like
increments,
straight
yeah.
up and down. So you just slowly keep moving it up until you're straight up and down, which is where we're at now. And again, you can see I'm right inside where the duct tape is at, which holds everything in place. This one's a little louder. So obviously this hand drill compared to the one I just used a few minutes ago is a lot more powerful. That little one I used would not be able to drill this one, not very well anyways. But. Like I said, just every now and then, like to just give it a chance to cool down, like to see what's going on, see how far I've made it.
yeah, you can see good from the back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you see it? Like,
You're almost there.
Yeah, no, you aren't quite. You're still tipped back towards you a little bit.
am I? Yeah. It's sometimes, it helps. I know
Yeah.
for me, it helps when I'm drilling this to have someone that says, yeah, because it's hard to tell which direction you're going. If you got a nice drill that has a little level on the back, sometimes you'll see those drills with a level on them. That's what they're for, is just to help you kind kind of stay perpendicular to the surface, but I have Val to do that for me. I'm still tipping towards me, you said?
Yeah, now you're too far that way. Yeah. I think you could go a hair that way.
I know, it's really noisy too, so. Do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, let's get it all the way out of there.
How close are we?
Oh,
You're pretty
that's
close.
much better.
You're really close. See, you evened up your uneven. So I think
All right,
20
well-
seconds.
Okay, that
20 seconds.
puts a little pressure on me. So, if you find it too boring, people, you could
Just skip. to
go
the-
get a snack or
Yeah,
just-
right. Fast forward when it's done.
Yeah, don't bring that up. That's,
Oh my gosh. You got to be almost through. I
well,
can
you
hear
would
it.
think. You know, some of it is, to be honest, the leverage is not great. The table's a little high for me. If it was a
Right.
hair lower, I could push on. Yeah, you can see here
Oh,
where
you
I'm,
were so close.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
you're
can see how
almost through, yeah.
the color is almost right there. Oh gosh, yeah, here I must be like almost
Yeah.
through.
Okay, so a little more than 20 seconds, Val.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
Well,
no,
if he
okay.
hadn't stopped, I think he'd have gone through.
I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, but you got to keep going now because you're just overflowing the water.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm just gonna have to keep going.
Can't dump anymore.
No, we cannot.
Well, it's going to overflow when that plug goes out.
That's all right.
And there it is, stuck at the
There
bottom.
it is. I think
Great
those are
example
neat.
of that.
That one.
I like those. I have,
the plugs actually
the ones
sometimes
out
are
of my
kinda fun.
sinks, and I tried to find them so that because I just think they're so cool.
You
So-
can make them into jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you can do is come in here, right, with something on the side and poke that out, which I don't know if we've got anything small enough to
Oh,
fit
it's
in. That's what I was looking for.
One
one
micro
of the-
drills would do it.
So as Val pointed out, I'm gonna fill this whole thing with water. We're gonna spill some water on the table. Yeah, there it is.
Ta-da. It's like you can make yourself checkers,
Oh, that'd be fun.
There you go.
right?
It's a lot of work for a checker piece.
Okay, now what are we doing?
Jump in the
Making a
water,
mess.
right. So you can see, right? So you can see how it's pretty nice hole in there, right? You can see the. Then we used. I'm not gonna take all this off just because of time, but you get the idea.
Yeah,
Usually
take
it
a
just
little bit
peels.
off.
A lot of the times, I kind of overlap them. So once you grab one, you can peel them all off.
Yeah, that's a good point because that does help if you overlap them. And
Yep, and you can just take it off. And then you're just seeing some of the silver marker where we were using to try to find where the center of the bowl was at, or sink in this case, if that's a sink.
yeah,
That's nice. You should
I think it's really nice. You
put
did
that
good.
in your house instead.
Yeah, I already have a couple. Roy calls this
Nice.
the kitchen sink. I'm not sure this would
I-
work real well as a kitchen sink.
Wait, it's really not. It's pretty shallow, but
Right.
we were just looking at just before I was looking at what the standard diameter of sink drains were, and then so there was a difference between bathroom and kitchen sinks, and so. But this was, if you're curious,
inch and a half?
it was an 1.5 inch bit, which is something that is a special order, I think, for us for Delphi, so it's not something that we stock currently, but we
can order it
we
on
can
the
certainly
website.
order it. Yep, on the website. And that's standard for a kitchen sink is 1.5 inch. And some bathroom sinks are that way, but some bathroom sinks are a little smaller or a little bigger, and then we sell different sizes. So same thing, or we could special order different sizes.
Yep.
If that's what you're interested in, but otherwise,
That's basically drilling holes.
That's drilling
right? Those
holes,
are all
right?
the secrets
So-
we know, I think.
yeah,
so.
that's all everything we know about drilling holes. You guys just saw. So, I mean, I think the key is again just being patient, right? Let the drill, do the work and grind through the glass, and try not to be in a hurry because you could break something. But we didn't. We
No,
got real lucky.
and
We
I
didn't
don't know
break
if we need to point out, but if you can see these holes, they're a little sharp. We just drilled through the glass, so the edges now are going to be a little bit sharp. So this is also something you could do prior to fusing if you wanted to. And then when you take your piece to a full fuse, then that would round up, then make that
Oh.
not sharp. So you just wanted to make sure you don't make your hole too small because,
The jewelry would definitely.
yeah,
close
you'd
up.
have to
Oh, yeah,
go
the
a
jewelry
little
one would be
bigger
a
than
little
what
too
you
small.
probably would think to then go to that full fuse to heal that back up. But, I've done that before just because sometimes the sharp, it depends on what you're doing with
Yep.
it. If you're hanging something with wire or with string or something, it's nice not to have that so sharp. But a sink where you're going to put a plug in or you're going to put a drain in.
Yeah, you're gonna cover it up.
Yeah,
You're
it
not
doesn't
gonna really
matter.
see it,
So. Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
Let us know how you like this.
Yeah, like if you like us horizontal,
You like us this
that's
way
right.
or
you
like
like
us
us
this way?
landscape or portrait, right? So, and then like I said, just reach out to us if you have ideas for other Facebook lives, and we're always looking for ideas. We'd love
Yep.
to hear what you guys would like to see, and then we'll try to bring it to you if we can. So,
Yeah.
but until next time,
Until we meet again.
yeah, which we don't know what we're doing next time, but
But
It'll
it'll
be
be
great.
it'll be
but
great.
it's gonna be good. So,
It'll be great.
thanks.
Thanks.